If this message has reached you, it is not meant to make you afraid or leave you feeling burdened. It has come because a part of your life needs to hear, in peace, what the noise of everyday life keeps trying to silence. I have spoken to you through small signs, through delays that kept you safe, through doors that stayed closed, through people who slowly walked away, and through moments when you felt unwell without knowing why. None of these things escaped my notice. I saw every time you acted strong while hiding how tired you really were. I saw your smile even when all you wanted inside was a little peace. I saw you lay your head on your pillow while your mind kept replaying the day. I saw you ask for answers and wonder if I was even listening. I was listening. I have always been listening. Stay with this message until the end because some truths need to be understood little by little. Not every direction arrives like a loud storm. Sometimes it comes as a quiet feeling that slowly grows inside you. As that feeling becomes stronger, confusion begins to lose its hold. Today I have not come to blame you. I have come to bring you back to the place where your soul finds peace. There is a restlessness inside you that did not come from me. There is pressure pushing you to rush, compare yourself, blame yourself, and believe you are always behind. But I do not measure time the way the world does. I do not see you the way people do. I see every battle that no one else has ever noticed. I know the sacrifices that were never praised. I know how many times you kept going even when you did not want to. When you believed your only goal was to survive, I was holding your heart together from within. When you thought you had lost everything, I kept you from falling into something even worse. When one door closed and the pain filled your heart, I already knew what was waiting behind it. Not every loss means you have been left behind. Some losses are quiet acts of protection. Here is something important you must remember. I do not lead you through fear. I do not force you to live under anxiety. My voice is not meant to tear you apart inside. When I correct you, I also care for you. When I slow you down, I am also preparing you. When I remove something from your hands, I am not ignoring your pain. I am protecting you from things you cannot see yet. Many times you asked for clear answers, but you expected them to come in the way you imagined. You waited for exact words, a complete reply, or a certain sign. But I also speak through the peace that remains when everything around you feels uncertain. I speak through the quiet feeling that tells you not to stay where your soul can no longer rest. I speak through simple guidance, small opportunities, unexpected meetings, and a thought that keeps returning without bringing fear or pain. Do not ignore what I tell you. You have already recognized the voice you should follow, but you turned away from it because you were afraid of what other people might think. Now there is a choice that must be made with courage. There is a weight you were never supposed to carry. You accepted responsibilities that were not yours, pain that belonged to other people, and guilt that I never placed on you. I know how deeply you want to succeed. I know you do not want to let anyone down. But while trying to make everyone happy, you slowly drifted away from the simple path I wanted for you. I never called you to live under the pressure of other people's expectations. I called you to walk beside me, one step at a time, without feeling the need to prove your value to everyone you meet. Some people will only understand your choices after they see the results. Others will criticize your obedience because it disturbs their comfort. Some would rather see you stay the same because your growth challenges them. Do not hand your life over to people who never saw the nights I spent giving you strength. Write this sentence in the comments: I receive divine guidance with inner peace. Do not write it only from habit. Write it as a quiet sign that you want to hear my voice in the middle of life's noise. Sometimes one small action opens the way to a precious memory hidden deep inside your soul, reminding you that you are not alone. I know there are still parts of your story that bring you pain. Old wounds rise again like stones in your path. Memories try to convince you that nothing will ever change. But your past does not have the power to decide your future, because I am still working within you. My beloved children, if these messages have comforted your heart, strengthened your faith, or drawn you closer to me, know that I have been working through this ministry. This YouTube channel has been demonetized, so these videos no longer receive ad revenue. Yet every script, edit, and upload is lovingly prepared by people who serve this mission with all their hearts. If I place it on your heart to help, please consider supporting this ministry through Ko-Fi. Every gift, no matter how small, helps keep my word reaching more lives around the world. The Ko-Fi link is pinned in the comments. If you're watching on TV, simply scan the QR code on your screen with your phone. Pray about it first, and if you feel my leading, give with a joyful heart. Thank you, my beloved children, for helping my light shine even farther. What happened to you may have left marks, but it does not have the right to decide who you are in my eyes. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the rejection you faced. You are not the delay that disappointed you. You are not the harsh opinion of someone who never truly knew your heart. You are someone I continue to support, continue to teach, continue to protect, and continue to lift up. And when I lift someone up, it is not to send them back into the same prison. Maybe during these last few days you have felt a different kind of tiredness, not only in your body, but deep inside, as though even small things needed great effort. I noticed it too. I saw your wish to disappear for a little while, to enjoy silence and explain nothing to anyone. I saw your soul asking for rest without knowing how to say it. Rest is not giving up. Pausing for a while is not failure. Admitting that you are tired does not make you weak. Even the earth needs time to renew itself. Even the body I created needs sleep, food, care, and quiet moments. Do not turn your life into a race filled with fear. I did not create you to live like a machine. I gave you life. Healing begins when you stop pretending that everything is okay. Being honest with me never makes you less. When you tell me you are tired, I do not turn away from you. When you admit you are afraid, I do not reject you. When you confess that you do not know what to do next, I do not leave you behind. I come closer to your honest heart. Many people look for signs only in big events. They expect something impossible, something that gets everyone's attention, something no one can miss. But the signs I place in your daily life are often simple. A delay that keeps you away from the wrong meeting, a conversation that confirms the right choice, a door that closes before you become trapped, an uneasy feeling that stops you from continuing down the wrong path, or a peace that comes even without certainty. So pay closer attention with a calm heart. Do not focus only on what you lost. Also notice what was kept from harming you. Do not think only about the people who left. Notice the freedom that came after they were gone. Do not look only at the delay. Notice the hidden preparation taking place. In the comments you will find an ebook called How to Recognize God Signs in Daily Life. Take time to read it because the pain in your heart often comes not from a lack of signs but from not recognizing how I guide you through small details. Accept it as help, not as a burden. Learn to see without fear, to wait without losing yourself, and to act without confusing rushing with wisdom. I want you to understand something about silence. My silence does not mean I am absent. Many times, while you think nothing is happening, I am arranging what you could never solve by yourself. Some things must happen without your knowledge because if you knew everything ahead of time, your anxiety would try to control every detail. You asked for an answer, but you also need the wisdom to carry it. You asked for a door to open, but you also need to be prepared when it does. You ask for change, but some changes begin by pulling out habits that looked harmless but were deeply rooted. I do not heal only what appears on the surface. I also deal with what keeps the problem alive. Some people want blessings without changing. They want comfort without letting go. They want leadership without learning obedience. But I do not offer a new path while leaving the same heart trapped by the same choices. When I call you towards something greater, I also ask you to leave behind what secretly weakens you. Do not keep feeding the things you later ask me to heal. Do not leave space for what steals your peace and then wonder why your soul feels restless. It is your responsibility to close certain doors, end some conversations, step away from certain places, and stop giving your time to distractions. I do not say this to make your life harder. I say it because I truly love you. A love that comes from me does more than comfort you. It also opens your eyes. It removes the covering. It reveals the hidden wounds in your heart. It brings attention to what seemed normal but was slowly wearing you down inside. Maybe you have become used to living with very little. Little peace, little respect, little joy, little hope, and little voices. After living that way for so long, you started believing that it was the only life possible. But I did not bring you this far so your soul would be satisfied with only small pieces of peace. I'm teaching you to recognize what comes from me and also to notice what pulls you away from me. Not everything that looks like an opportunity is truly a blessing. Not everyone who reaches out has good intentions. Not every quick path is the right one. Not every fast answer is meant for your good. So before you hurry, calm your heart. Before making sudden choices, bring your worries to me. Before accepting something because you fear losing it, remember that I know how to open doors that no one can shut. When your heart is troubled, the enemy tries to make every easy escape seem like the right answer. It uses your need, your urgency, your fear of being alone, and your desire to prove yourself. But I do not lead through manipulation. I do not need to fill you with fear to guide you. My direction is steady, but it will never crush your spirit. Take a slow breath as you continue reading this message. A part of you needs to stop blaming yourself for what you did not understand before. You did not know everything then. You did not have the wisdom you have today. You could not see certain motives. You did not recognize some patterns. Now I am showing them to you, and that itself is a gift. Do not use the light you have today to judge yourself for the darkness you lived through yesterday. What matters now is how you respond, your willingness, and your courage not to return to the place that I have already shown you brings pain. It is your humility to admit that you need help and your trust to keep moving even when you do not understand everything. I have also seen the worries you still carry. You wait, but often you wait with fear. You imagine troubles that have not even happened. You replay conversations that may never take place. You suffer over answers that are still being prepared. Your heart keeps trying to live days that have not yet come, and because of that, today becomes too heavy. Give me the day that has not arrived yet. It is not yours to carry today. The grace that supports you now is enough for this day. Tomorrow I will still be with you. You do not have to carry an entire week in one night. You do not have to solve your whole life in a single thought. You do not need every answer to keep walking forward. There is a kind of faith that grows through small actions. Wake up each day and choose not to give up. Stay quiet when you feel like hurting someone. Ask for forgiveness when pride tries to control you. Keep working even when no one praises you. Pray even when you do not feel anything. Do what is right even when no one is watching. I see all of it. Nothing done with a sincere heart is ever wasted. I saw your small acts of faithfulness. I saw when you chose not to share something. I saw when you held back your tears so you would not make others worry. I saw when you helped someone even though you also needed help yourself. I saw every time you stood back up after you fell. The world may overlook those moments, but I never do. I am God even in the things no one else can see. Now let me speak about something you have hidden for too long, the wound of rejection. That pain has made you see silence as abandonment, delays as rejection, and change as danger. It made you settle for less than you deserved just because you were afraid of losing someone. It made you chase small pieces of attention as though they were proof of love. But I am teaching you not to give up your peace just to remain where real love does not exist. The people I place in your life will not break you in order to love you. The one who truly walks beside you will not ask you to hide your light just to fit in. The one who honors my work in you will not treat your faith like it is too much. Look at the results. Notice the peace. Pay attention to what happens inside you after spending time with someone. Some people quietly bring you closer to me without many words. Others slowly pull you away even though they speak beautifully. Do not judge only by words. Anyone can repeat the right words. The results always reveal the truth. It is also important to look honestly at your own life, not to blame yourself, but to keep growing. What you have been feeding in secret has either strengthened your faith or increased your anxiety. What you choose to take in each day has either cleared your mind or filled it with heaviness. The conversations you welcomed have either given you wisdom or left you confused. The habits you have followed have either brought you closer to peace or kept leading you back to the same tiredness. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be sincere. I ask for a heart that is willing to learn. I ask you to stop defending the things that need to change. Even a small change can transform a life. One broken habit, one healthy decision, one calm response, one moment spent in prayer, healthy boundaries made with respect, or speaking the right name at the right time. Now quietly pray this simple prayer without rushing. My God, keep my heart free from confusion. Open my eyes to your signs, and give me the courage to obey you in peace. A prayer does not need many words to be real. I recognize an honest heart even before I hear beautiful words. You have tried to control so many things because you were afraid of being hurt again. I understand why you wanted to protect yourself. But control is not peace. Control is a prison that pretends to offer safety. You try to predict everything, hold everything together, and fix everything, yet your heart still feels restless. Remember, I am God even over the things you cannot control. Let go little by little. Let go of the need to explain your life to people who refuse to understand. Let go of the guilt of not being able to save everyone. Let go of the shame of still being on your journey. Let go of the rush to see results. Let go of comparing yourself with people who are following a different path. I am not copying anyone else's journey in your life. I am creating your own in my perfect time. Comparison has taken far more from you than you realize. You admire the harvest of others while forgetting you never saw all the work behind it. You celebrate someone's victory without knowing the hidden losses they faced. You judge your own life by what you see on the surface. Do not do that to yourself. I know your whole story. I know what you have already overcome. I know what is still healing inside you. Your pace does not need to match anyone else's. Obedience is not a competition with other people. Obedience means staying focused on my will. Sometimes I ask you to move faster. Sometimes I tell you to rest. Sometimes I lead you forward. Sometimes I ask you to wait. Through every season, I remain God. There is a gift in learning to wait without becoming hard, bitter, impatient, hopeless, or desperate enough to trade your values for quick answers. I know this does not happen in one day, but every day you choose to stay close to me, something inside you grows stronger. You have lived through days you thought you could never survive, yet you are still here, not by accident and not only by your own strength. Unseen hands carried you when your thoughts were falling apart. You have been rescued more times than you know. Answers often arrived through unexpected changes in your plans. You were protected on difficult roads. Do not mistake the things I used to protect you as failures. That closed door was not your ending. Those goodbyes were not your destruction. That deadline was not forgotten. This hard season was never meant to prove that I had left you. Many times, while you only saw broken pieces, I was already building a strong foundation. I have been restoring the places inside you that were damaged by hurtful words, painful absences, wrong choices, and deep disappointments. Real rebuilding does not always make noise. There are days when it feels like nothing has changed. There are days when the same pain tries to return. There are days when old thoughts come back again. On those days, do not give up. Keep moving, even if it is only one step at a time. You do not have to feel strong before you obey. Many times, strength comes after you take the first step. Courage is not always a powerful feeling. Sometimes courage is simply getting up, washing your face, doing what is right, and refusing to return to the things that keep holding you back. I know some painful words have stayed in your mind. They told you that you could not succeed, that it was too late, that you were not valuable, that no one would stay, and that your faith was too weak. But no human voice has greater authority over your life than mine. When I tell you there is still hope, the opinions of others do not decide your ending. Do not place your future in the hands of someone who has only seen one torn page of your story. I know the entire book. I know the chapters you hide because of shame. I even know the chapters that have not yet begun, and still I continue to call you, care for you, correct you, and support you. When I show you the truth, it is never to shame you but to set you free. The truth may hurt at first because it shakes the parts of you that became comfortable with darkness. But then it creates room, brings healing, puts things back in order, clears your mind, and helps you understand that you no longer have to accept less just because you once believed you did not deserve better. My presence does not make you proud. It makes you strong. Strong enough to love without losing yourself. Strong enough to help others without carrying the whole world on your shoulders. Strong enough to wait without giving in to hopelessness. Strong enough to say yes when the answer is yes and no when the answer must be no. Strong enough to keep going even without approval. Human approval changes quickly. Today people cheer for you. Tomorrow they forget you. Today they praise you. Tomorrow they criticize you. Today they come close. Tomorrow they walk away. If your peace depends on people, your heart will always grow tired. Keep your heart focused on me, not through empty religion but through simple, real, everyday trust. Before you react, remember me. Before you make a decision, bring it to me. Before you give up, return to me. I care about the smallest details. I am present in your everyday life, in the conversation that needs patience, in the bill that worries you, in the decision that seems small but can change everything, in the desire to begin again, in the need to forgive, in the silence that prevents an argument, and in the choice to sleep peacefully instead of feeding thoughts that only bring pain. Your spiritual life is not limited to special moments. It is shown in the way you live each day, in how you care for what I have trusted you with, in your private prayers, in your actions while you wait, and in your trust even when nothing seems to change. I know there are moments when you think your faith is too small, but even small faith in me is precious. I do not crush hearts that feel weak. I do not ignore imperfect prayers. I do not turn away when your voice trembles. I welcome honesty and teach those who are still growing. Do not mistake strong feelings for my presence. Some days you will feel deeply moved. Other days you will feel almost nothing. Still, I remain God. Do not measure how close I am only by your emotions. Learn to trust even when your heart feels dry. Roots continue growing even before anyone sees flowers. Some promises need deep roots before they can produce fruit. If the fruit comes too soon, the wind will carry it away. That is why I am building your foundation. I am shaping your character. I am changing the way you see things. I am working through the choices no one notices. I am teaching you how to handle disappointment. I am strengthening your response to delays. I am helping you value what still seems small. Do not look down on small beginnings. A humble start does not mean a small future. One simple prayer can open a door deep inside your heart. One small act of obedience can end an old pattern. One small decision can change the future of an entire family. A little courage today can prevent deep regret later. Like this message as a quiet sign of gratitude, never because you feel forced. Do it only if these words truly speak to your heart. Small acts like this can also remind you of the value of what you have received. Now I want to speak about the fear of making mistakes. Many times you held back because you were afraid of choosing the wrong path, but refusing to move because of fear is also a choice. I am not asking you to do whatever you want. I am asking you to walk with me. Those who walk with me learn through every adjustment. Not every detour is failure. Not every correction means you have failed. I can guide those who stay humble. Do not feel ashamed for learning later than others. Do not feel ashamed to begin again. Do not feel ashamed to admit that something was not right for you. Many people remain trapped by their own certainty because they fear what others will think. They would rather keep suffering and admit they need to change. Do not let appearances become your prison. The truth, even when it hurts, is better than a comfortable lie that slowly destroys you from within. If a relationship can survive only through lies, it is already hurting your soul. If a decision asks you to ignore your conscience, it is not from me. If a path requires you to hide, harden your heart, and drift away from prayer, be careful. I do not lead you toward a false peace that only exists when you stop thinking. The peace I give can remain even in the middle of difficult times without asking you to deny what you believe. It strengthens you without damaging your heart. It leads you toward the light even when that takes courage. There will be times when my answer is to wait. Not because I enjoy your suffering, but because time has its own purpose. Time reveals people's true intentions. Time changes decisions. Time shows who remains for the right reasons. Time separates passing desires from a true calling. Time removes masks. Time makes roots stronger. You are in a hurry because you can only see today. I already see the future results of every choice. You see an opportunity. I also see the responsibility it carries. You see a person. I see their heart, their intentions, and the outcome. You see an open door. I see the whole path beyond it. Trust what I see more than your anxious thoughts. You do not have to understand everything before you obey. Understanding often comes later. Trust comes before clarity. The first step must be taken, and confirmation follows as you continue. Faith does not ask you to ignore your mind. It teaches you not to let fear rule over it. I know you have asked for signs and then questioned them. It often happens when a heart has been wounded. It receives but struggles to trust. It notices but keeps searching for more proof. It hears but still doubts. I do not condemn you for that. I simply invite you to keep growing. When the same direction keeps returning, do not treat it as simple coincidence. Pay attention when I continue bringing the same lesson to your heart because there is something important you need to remember. Notice what keeps disturbing your inner peace. I am not speaking about fear that comes from anxiety, but about the deep unrest that stays even when everything seems fine. Also notice what gives you peace without leading you away from the truth. Let every feeling come from me because I'm with people simply become numb. But my peace is filled with light. It does not need darkness to exist. A stronger version of you is being formed, but it will never appear if you keep repeating the same patterns. The cycle of guilt, the cycle of rushing, the cycle of accepting less than you deserve, the cycle of returning to what hurts you, and the cycle of promising change while abandoning yourself again. I do not show you these things to shame you. I show them so you can finally see where your strength is being wasted. Begin with what is already within your reach. Bring a little order to your day. Remove harmful influences. Return to a simple prayer. Take care of your body because it needs your attention. React less quickly. Control your words when anger begins to rise. Ask for guidance before opening a new door. You do not have to change everything in one day, but do not use that as a reason to change nothing at all. I bless honest steps. I support sincere actions. I give strength to tired hands when they stop trying to carry everything by themselves. You never need to prove your strength to me. I already know who you are. I know the dust from which I formed you. I know where you are hurting. I know what feels heavy. I know what is missing in your life. There is a kindness I want you to receive without fear. Not every act of care expects something in return. Not every offer of help will disappoint you. Not every open door leads to danger. Pain has taught your soul to expect the worst, but I am teaching your heart to recognize what is good without fear. This does not mean trusting everyone. It means not allowing old wounds to make your decisions. Wisdom watches carefully. Faith trusts me. True love does not keep you trapped. Humility keeps learning. Peace brings confirmation. And when something does not come from me, I know how to stir your heart until you notice it. Share this message with someone who needs guidance, but do not force it. Sometimes one simple word reaches a person just before they make a decision while completely exhausted. We never know how many lives can be changed by one small act done with a sincere heart. I'd also want to remind you to care for your inner life. There is no reason to fix everything around you if your heart is still full of conflict. Some thoughts quietly settle inside and slowly try to take control. Thoughts of defeat, comparison, distrust, revenge, and hopelessness. Do not allow every thought to stay in your mind. Not every thought deserves your attention. When the thought comes that nothing will ever change, choose obedience instead. When memories of past mistakes return, respond with wisdom and faith. When you feel like giving up, come closer to me instead of hiding alone in darkness. A voice that is fed becomes a strong voice. A strong voice becomes a direction. A direction repeated over time becomes your future. So be careful about what you welcome into your heart. I have also spoken to you through the discomfort you feel about certain choices. Before, you accepted them without noticing. Now something inside you refuses them. That is not a bad attitude. It is not an overeat action. It is growth. When the soul begins to heal, it no longer sees the prison as its home. It stops accepting tiny pieces of love as enough. It no longer mistakes confusion for passion. It is no longer delayed from the future meant for it. Do not try to return to places I have already opened the way out of. Do not lower your understanding just to keep a false peace. Do not pretend you have not seen what I have already shown you. Light always brings responsibility. Once truth is revealed, continuing in the same mistake becomes much heavier. Not because I want to punish you, but because your soul already knows. You ask to recognize my voice, so begin by recognizing the voices that do not belong to me. It is not my voice telling you that you are worthless. It is not my voice saying you will always be alone. It is not my voice pushing you into desperate choices. It is not my voice filling you with shame after you have repented. My voice corrects you, but it also lifts you up. It shows the mistake, but it also points toward the right path. It speaks the truth without taking away hope. When I tell you to stand up, I am not pretending your pain is not real. I am reminding you that pain does not have the final word. When I tell you to keep going, I am not saying the journey is easy. I am reminding you that there is still more ahead. When I tell you to wait, I have not forgotten you. I am protecting you from the wrong time. There are answers you deeply want because they seem to fix everything. But if they came now, they could pull you away from the healing your heart still needs.